worldview and supportive scriptures. I go a step further and offer a call to action for those determined to do more. Conditions have grown worse in America since I first published Be the People. There is a growing loss of knowledge about our historical roots and our critically important founding documents. The ignorance about history and the misinformation about our nation is exacerbated by efforts like the New York Times 1619 Project, released in 2019, now used as curriculum in more than 4,500 schools around the nation. It offers a rewrite of American history and argues that the true date for the nation's founding was 1619, when the first blacks came to America in bondage, rather than 1776, when the Declaration of Independence was signed. The 1619 Project is deeply rooted in critical race theory, which grew out of Marxism. Many Americans have witnessed the impact this dangerous and divisive ideology has had on colleges and universities over the past 30-plus years. It is no longer just on campus. Critical race theory now infects K through 12 schools, corporations, churches, and other institutions that shape our culture. It divides the American people into white oppressors and non-white victims. It is not uplifting. It offers a negative, life-draining message to America's youth. Fortunately, however, 1776 Unites was birthed as a counter to 1619. It is a consortium of scholars, grassroots activists, pastors, and policymakers who offer a positive alternative to the destructive messages being foisted on us. Founded by Bob Woodson of the Woodson Center, 1776 Unites focuses on the remarkable achievements Americans have attained working together across racial and ethnic lines. Other changes threaten our democratic republic. There are serious concerns about election integrity and the power of big tech companies and media organizations. In less than a decade, these entities have aligned with globalists' interests and begun the process of pushing a progressive agenda that is antithetical to our Judeo-Christian roots. This book provides solutions that include education and knowledge as mighty weapons. We must know the tactics of those who fight fervently against our Constitution and Judeo-Christian values and heritage. We, the people, must strengthen our backbones and our resolve. We must stop allowing elected officials to use our tax dollars to support public policies and practices proven harmful to society. We also need to rethink what we once took for granted. We have the responsibility to remove elected officials who act as if we no longer matter once an election is over. It is imperative for us to stand up for the best and be the people who bring about lasting change for our children and grandchildren. Even if we fail in our efforts, we will have stood for righteousness and propriety. We can and must make our voices heard. We can and must take responsibility for the enormous power granted to us by our Constitution. Change can come rapidly. Nothing that exists today, good or bad, can be taken for granted. We know God is in control, but He gives us the power to think and act wisely. My hope is that you prayerfully read this book written a decade ago and let it empower you and others in your sphere of influence. You do have influence, as well as a following that looks to you for direction. Let us work together to expose the lies and deceit of those determined.